My name's Rebecca Aho. I'm 27. I have 3 kids, Elijah, Emily, and Eloise, and I've been married for 5 years. Well, I was pregnant with my daughter, and I had a lot of complications during the pregnancy, and so I was on bed rest for a long time, and I needed something like to help me relax that was safe that I could do while being pregnant. And Float came up actually because of my auntie. She was going and she mentioned it to me and said that she would pay for my Float. And so I went, and not thinking that I would really enjoy it at all actually, and I left feeling phenomenal. It felt like I was in there for like 20 minutes. Once I was finished, it did not feel like an hour. So it's really neat. Time kind of just stands still. The difference between the first time going and the subsequent time going is you know what to expect. So it's definitely a lot more enjoyable after you've gotten the first time out of the way. Every time after that, I think, just gets better and better, for me anyway. You're more relaxed when you go in, you know what to expect. Actually, the last time I went in, I was able to go in without like any lights on or anything, which is a pretty big deal for me because I don't really like the dark. So yeah, it was really neat. I went in with the light and music because I was too freaked out to be in my own brain on my own. So, but yeah, after that first time and then once time again, the third time I went in, yeah, it was everything off and no sound, no music. Yeah, and it was awesome. Any struggles I had in the tank would have been mainly getting out of my own brain and having to kind of like talk myself down, because I do suffer from anxiety, so I'd get kind of like nervous and stuff being enclosed in a space and then it's dark, and I found having the light in there with me, knowing that I could have that if I needed it, really helped. It made a huge difference. But all in all, like I got used to it pretty quick, and it really wasn't an issue for me. Yeah, the last time I left Float, I was walking out and I said, my daughter could do anything right now. And it would just be like, okay, sweetie, that's okay. You're all right. So yeah, it's one of a kind experience, and it's natural and healthy. And I feel like it's good for us to be able to de-stress and finally shut our brains off from all the intake and input that we get on a day-to-day basis, like 365. I think we don't realize how much we take in on a daily basis, because it's not just light and sound, it's you're being touched, you're being called, you're everything, like all your senses are going all the time. So to be able to de-stress and decompress from that is phenomenal. I hadn't tried anything that was this natural. I tried medical things where it was like medication and stuff like that to help with the anxiety and depression and things like that. But this was the first thing I tried that was really, I guess, good for me all around. Like, yeah, it kind of has the whole package, because I'm not giving myself medication. Instead, I'm doing something that actually helps my brain, and there isn't any negative side effect to it. Floating has been beneficial in the way that I'm able to decompress, to think about my own things instead of everybody else's, because I find on a daily basis I'm thinking about what my husband needs, what my children need, and floating gives me the opportunity to think about what I need. I'm not gonna stop. It's not something I'm gonna stop doing. Yeah, I feel like it helps my sanity. When I talk about floating, people are taken aback, and I always say, you know what, that was my first impression too, was like, okay, yeah, float, how much could it really help you? But it's insane how much shutting everything off around really does help. It really does, it makes a huge difference. Wow, okay, I gotta think about this answer for a sec, because that's like, oh, to me, floating is like being on a waterbed, but without having anything touch you. It's just being in space almost. Yeah, it's pretty exhilarating, it's pretty amazing. To even put it into words is kind of difficult. You really gotta experience it. It's something you really have to do. At least once. I have like PTSD symptoms, and I've got a whole wrap of stuff. And it's insane how much it helps. It really does. Like when I come out of a float, I feel 20 times better. I didn't know there was something that could help so much, you know? I'm really thankful that I found it. For people who can't afford the float, how much coffee do you buy? Like, you can save up for it. It's so worth it. It's so worth it. For your mental sanity, I guess it really depends on where your priorities are. If you know what I mean? Like, for me, it's priceless. I'd pay pretty much anything to go float. I would find a way to get it done because it's spectacular. And I think anyone who goes once, I think that's something people say when they don't want to try it. I think if someone really wants to feel better, this is a great way to go about. And at least give it a shot before you shoot it down, because it really does do awesome stuff. It's amazing. I even left the tank open a little bit too the first time, actually, because it helped ease things. But once you're in there, like, it's amazing. Even like being claustrophobic, you're in there, but it feels so big. It's only once you actually touch the side that you realize, oh crap, I'm in an enclosed space. Like sometimes you even forget that you're in this space. It feels like there's all this area around you. It's amazing. When I was pregnant with Emily, I had insane pain to the point where like I could barely walk. I actually had a cane the last 3 months of my pregnancy, and floating, I felt absolutely no pain in that tank. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable to be able to lay there, and also to be able to lay on my stomach with my hands up. Yeah, it was awesome. And she moved all the time. She was always moving, and in that tank, she was calm. It was like we were just zen together.